Welcome to Google Ads Unleashed, the podcast that helps you harness the power of Google Ads. And now your host, Jeremy Young.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Google Ads Unleashed. I hope you are doing well. So today I want to talk about something that is pissing me off. Okay, so I've seen something the other day doing a Google Ads account audit, and then I done another audit and I saw the same, and then I done another audit and I saw the same. The story goes on, and it is an improper brand and non-brand split. So I'll be honest, at this stage I'm going to admit to something, and that is that I am I can't think of it when you say something that you don't believe yourself. I can't think of the word. Anyway, you know what I mean. For a very long time, especially when PMax came out, I sort of rode the wave and was of the impression that you should never exclude brand, because otherwise you will not show your shopping listings for branded searches, etc, etc, etc. How wrong I was. I've changed my mind pretty quickly on this, and this is exactly what this episode is about. In those audits, I saw several Google Ads accounts where people weren't doing a proper brand and non-brand split. And typically in those accounts, there were agencies and freelancers working. And essentially what happened is they tricked e-commerce business owners into thinking that the campaigns were doing fantastic ROAS. Okay, and I tell you why it's shame on them in many sort of ways. So first of all, it's that e-commerce business owners don't understand. They look at their Google Ads accounts, see a PMax campaign with an 8x ROAS, and they think, amazing, that's doing really well. Right, of course that makes the Google Ads expert look amazing and great, etc. Theoretically or practically, there's not really anything wrong with that. Like, everyone's happy, so that's the outcome, that's what everyone wants, right? But that's not really what helps the business. So that's the first thing that's wrong with that. The second thing that's wrong with that is it's actually quite dangerous for the algorithm, because what will happen is if you have an automated bidding strategy such as target ROAS, so maximize conversion value at target ROAS, what Google will do is it will focus all of its sort of high value auctions on, it will focus all of its budget on the high value auctions, of which it knows will guarantee that it'll hit that target ROAS. And of course that's branded searches. So let's say your brand is Nike and your target ROAS is, let's say, set at 4x, something like that. Then of course Google will put all of its budget onto Nike searches, because it knows those convert the best and produce the best ROAS. Which is why typically when you try to scale those types of campaigns, what will happen is ROAS will fall off the cliff suddenly and very quickly, because branded search is limited. There's only so much brand search for any brand, right? So when you start spending more, you will very quickly run out of those branded searches, and your prospecting budget will either go into a less profitable non-brand search, which is of course what you actually want. You want new customers through Google Ads, or into other placements with PMax, such as display or such a YouTube, discovery, all that sort of stuff. Okay, so that's why that's dangerous, because you're teaching the algorithm, hey, go for branded search, all right? Why it's also dangerous is you will want different budgets and bidding strategies for brand versus non-brand, okay? Because what will happen is exactly that. Google will decide the budget and put it into your branded search. And also Google, if you give them one finger, or they'll take the entire arm, okay? So if you, let's say, only want to spend 10 cents a click or something per for your branded search, because you will want, of course, a 10x, 15, 20x ROAS. Well, if you mix it with your non-brand campaign, which is set at 3 or 4x ROAS, then Google will overspend on your branded search. Okay, so that's something that you really have to do to separate them. Also, you will want to force Google to spend more budget on the real non-branded search and try to break into those auctions and into that market. So that's why you separate it out as well and force Google to put more budget towards that. So how do you do that? With PMax specifically, you do it with a so-called brand exclusion. So you'll see this in the settings. Google loves to hide this setting. You'll see this in the setting of your PMax campaign. You go to the bottom and you exclude your brand. And if you're an e-commerce business owner listening to this, or generally speaking, a business owner who's listening to this, then please check that setting straight away if it's done. If it's not, that's a red flag. Go ask a Google Ads expert about it, or book a call with me and we can do better for you. And the second thing you may want to look at if you're running a search or a shopping campaign is whether your brand has been negatived out with a negative keyword. You can see this either in the negative keywords, or you can see whether a negative keyword list has been made on account level, which has been then applied to all of the various campaigns. Okay, so you will see it with that. Now, you will ask yourself, okay, Jazz, I've now excluded my brand from PMax, but I still, of course, want to show for my brand. I want to show my shopping results on brand. I want to show my branded search on brand. So how do I do that? Well, I've already answered part one. Branded search is the answer. Yeah, so you just have a brand search campaign. You've got a podcast about that. Go back and listen to it, how to set it up, best practices, and also what you should set, the budgets and the bidding strategy to, etc., etc. That's part one. And then part two, and this is going to blow people's minds now, you have to have a separate shopping campaign for brand. How and why does that work? Now, if you have a PMax campaign and exclude brand, PMax typically has first dibs on any auction and any search term. So if a brand search comes in and there is a shopping campaign and a PMax campaign, PMax will serve that branded search. Okay, that's because PMax will have is of higher priority than your shopping campaign or all of the other campaigns. Okay, generally speaking, unless it's search, and search exact match keywords have first dibs over PMax. It's quite complicated. But let's stick to shopping for the moment, because this is primarily an e-commerce podcast. So this is what is going to happen. So what you have to do when you exclude brand and a brand list from your PMax. By the way, there will still be some branded searches coming into PMax. You can't avoid that. It's just the nature of the beast. But most of it will then filter through PMax and land in your branded shopping campaign. In this shopping campaign, you can just set a catch-all. Yeah, you can set this with a manual bid or with a target ROAS, and you can just let it run on low budget. You can even make quite a high target ROAS. So Google will really try and focus that budget on the high-value auctions that are branded searches, and that generates, and that way you can make sure that you have a separate budget for brand versus non-brand. You force PMax into spending on non-brand. You force Google onto spending only a smaller budget on branded shopping, and that typically works really well. If you want to go elite level, you can do the following. You can even create another shopping campaign, which is a catch-all. You set this in the settings to high priority. I will get to what this is in a second. You set the bidding strategy to max clicks and you negative brand out in that campaign. So what will happen is that all of the branded searches will go into your PMax campaign first. You have your brand excluded there, so it bypasses that. Then it goes into the shopping campaign, which is set at high priority. But if you negative brand out there as well, it'll bypass that as well. And then your branded search will land in your shopping campaign, your brand shopping campaign, which you can set a low priority. Why is that a cool idea? Is because what will typically happen if you just have PMax and your normal shopping campaign, your brand shopping, is that a lot of non-branded searches will still kind of land in that brand's shopping campaign. And that way you can absolutely make sure that really only branded searches land in your brand shopping, because what will happen is the odd occasional, let's say, non-branded search that may bypass Performance Max for whatever reason. For instance, the budget's run out on the day, or Google doesn't think it's a valuable auction for PMax, will still be picked up by that high priority shopping campaign, and then the budget for that high priority shopping campaign is used up for those other non-brand searches, and then again you have separate budgets, separate ROAS targets for it, and then it bypasses that shopping campaign and goes into the lower priority shopping campaign for branded search. Amazing, right? So that's kind of how you deal with that. And I kind of already alluded to the solution if you already just run normal standard shopping, is that all of your prospecting campaigns, which are purely non-brand, should all be high priority and have a negative keyword list with brand. And then all of your sort of medium campaigns should all be prospecting as well. And then low priority is just standard shopping with brand. Yeah, that's the way of doing it. That's the best way of doing it, I found now over the past months and years. And if you dive into your Google Ads account, even with no knowledge of this now, and see that this is inflating your data, you should give whoever manages your account a bollocking, and you should then also book a call with me, Jeremy Young. You can find me on LinkedIn. Just type in my name, followed by Google Ads, and you'll find me pretty easily. You can also go and find me on social media. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on TikTok. You can find us on Twitter. Formerly the platform X, formerly known as Twitter. You can also book a one-to-one consultation with me via our website, younganddigital.marketing. I would love to speak to you how to see how we can grow more non-brand in your account. Please do it. I'd be loving to speak to you. My name is Jeremy Young. I'm your personal Google Ads expert, and I'd love to see you in the next episode. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Google Ads Unleashed. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. If you found value in today's podcast, please share it with others and leave a rating and a review. For more information or to connect with Jeremy, check him out online at www.younganddigital.marketing. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.